So one thing that is really important in business is when you get to a certain point, you can't do all the work yourself. So you're going to have to hire somebody, or you're going to have to get help in some way, shape, or another, okay? And a lot of some of the stuff that I've been talking about deals with you as the business owner. Are you paying that person who's providing that service to you as an employee or an independent contractor? So I'm going to kind of go over a few things in this video here that deals with employees in particular. But to start, what I'm going to do is first I'm just going to discuss the differences between an employee and an independent contractor. Because making this distinction properly for your business is, extremely important, okay? Where you get hurt is when you misclassify somebody who is supposed to be an employee as an independent contractor. That's when you leave yourself as the business owner up to a lot of risk, okay? Because if you get audited by the IRS and they take a look at your so-called, contractor expenses, and then they ask about the nature of that relationship and the details behind it and so on and so forth, and it turns out that that person should have actually been an employee, they are going to hit you with back taxes, okay? Back taxes in the sense that when you pay an employee, you are obligated as the employer to pay your portion of the payroll taxes, okay? Which comes out to about 7.5% on the wages that you pay. Okay, so that can add up really fast, all right? And they can go back years, bro. It's not just 1 year that they can go back, okay? They can go back and hit you pretty hard. So let's dive into this. What makes the difference between an independent contractor and an employee? And I'm gonna show you guys some, the source, I'm gonna show you guys some stuff from IRS and read along. So just hop on irs.gov, man, and all I did was I went irs.gov, and then they got that search bar right there. I searched in employee versus contractor, okay? And then I ended up clicking on like the second link or something. So right here, I think I can go back one more. So yeah, I ended up searching that, employee versus contractor, and then I clicked on the top one, know who you're hiring. And then I clicked on for employers, okay? These are charities and governments. You're probably not worried about that. And then, okay, read some of this stuff, and then you get to here. Determining whether the individuals providing services are employees or independent contractors. Before you determine how to treat payments you make for services, you must know the business relationship that exists between you and the person performing the services. So you can see that there's a few different types of employees, but the two that you want to focus on is independent contractor and employee, common law employee. So then you scroll down here, and then what you find, common law rules, okay? Facts that provide evidence of the degree of control and independence fall into 3 categories. So in a sense, there's 3 tests that you have to determine and ask yourself whether or not, determine what the answer to these questions are, and then you'll find out whether who you're paying for the services is an employee or are they an independent contractor. So let's break this stuff down in English. Whoops. The first one deals with behavioral, okay? Does the company control or have the right to control what the worker does and how the worker does his or her job? So when you break that down, it's basically asking you as the person who's requesting somebody else to do something in exchange for payment, do you care how they do it? Do you care how they do it? Are you going to show them how to do the work? Or do you not care how it gets done, just get me to the end result, right? So for an instance, let me case in point. Somebody who works at McDonald's, when you're running the cash register, okay, they're going to show you how to run the cash register. And they're going to show you what to do at the job and how to do it. So that's an employee. Now, if you flip the script a little bit, is I hired, I used to subcontract certain curbside leaf pickups, okay? And so we blow all the leaves to the curb, and then I call the guy who's got the leaf vacuum to come by and suck them up, right? I don't care how he does it. I do not give a dang how he gets those leaves off the curb. I just need the leaves off the curb. Okay? I do not have control over how they do the job. So that person to me is an independent contractor. The person at McDonald's who's being shown how to run the cash register is an employee. So that deals with behavior. Are you in control of how the person does their job? Yes? No? Okay. So that deals with financial. That deals with behavioral. Now let's go to financial. So, are the business aspects of the worker's job controlled by the payer? These include things like how the worker is paid, whether expenses are reimbursed, who provides the tools and supplies. So this has to deal with, what you're using kind of to do the job. Did you provide all of your equipment and supplies? Did you provide the pencils, the computers, the trucks, the vehicles, the equipment, the lawnmowers? Or did somebody else provide those? In case of the McDonald's person who works for McDonald's and gets paid by McDonald's to run the cash register, McDonald's provides the building, McDonald's provides the uniform, McDonald's provides the cash register, McDonald's provides the electricity, the employee provides nothing, okay? The person working for them provides nothing, therefore they fall under the employee category. Going back to the reference about how I have subcontracted out curbside leaf removal, I did not buy that guy's leaf vacuum. I did not buy that guy's truck. I did not buy that guy's trailer. I did not, I didn't buy any of that dude's stuff, okay? I mean, I didn't buy any of it. Also, whether expenses are reimbursed or not. So even if you are spending your own money on the truck, the trailer, and this and that, am I reimbursing you directly for that stuff? So, okay, are you reimbursed for the expenses by the person who's paying you to do a service? If you are, you start to fall under the employee category. If you don't, and you buy all your own crap with no direct reimbursement, okay, because debatably, right, the price that I charge people for services, they're reimbursing me for my equipment, right? But no, that's not like direct. Here's money for the expense that you paid, okay? So that deals with the financial aspects of it. Are you providing your own equipment? Are you being reimbursed for expenses that you're incurring to do the job you're asked? So then we can talk about the third one, and that deals with the type of relationship. So, are there written contracts or employee type benefits? For example, are you entitled to pension plans or retirement plans, insurance packages, vacation pay, etc.? So that, paid time off. Do you have sick time? Stuff like that. Do you have employee benefits? What's your benefit package? A person who's paying you to do services and there's also benefits involved with your compensation, then you fall under the employee category, okay? If you have vacation time, you get PTO, same thing, right? You get sick time, you have health insurance through them, dental insurance, eye insurance, all that stuff. You have a retirement plan, you have a pension plan, you have a 401k, they match it, and all that stuff, right? You have those benefits. Those are employee benefits. You fall under the employee category. The person at McDonald's, right? They have things like, a tuition reimbursement program. That's an employee benefit. They have things like fringe benefits, okay? You can get, discounts on your meals when you buy. Stuff like that. You have, I'm sure that some of the, they get paid time off over there. And stuff like that. So those people who are paid to do services for McDonald's fall under the employee category, okay? And then going back, the subcontractor that I paid to do curbside leaf removals. I paid that dude and provided him 0 benefits. I wrote the check, and that was that. I didn't say, hey man, here's a check. Oh yeah, and I put some money in your 401k for you, right? It was, I gave you, 8 hours of PTO included on this check. Like, no, okay, makes sense. Okay, so what's the type of relationship? Are there written contracts and employee benefits involved in those contracts? And then if you take a look at that second sentence after it discusses the benefits, will the type of relationship continue, and is the work performed a key aspect of the business? So when it asks you, will the relationship continue? Now what this means is it deals with the overall longevity of what you're doing, okay? Now go back to the example that I've been talking about the whole time. Employee who gets paid by McDonald's and guy who I paid to do curbside leaf removal. So will the relationship continue? The person who gets paid to do stuff for McDonald's, they're expected to show up every day and they're expected to continue that relationship as long as everything goes well. And I know what you're saying, it's but that you can kind of have that for that same guy who did the curbside for us, right? You know, I expect this relationship to continue, and I want it to. You know, it was a good relationship that we had. It worked out for both of us. We both made money, blah, 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 blah. But then that's where you have to throw in that second part that says, and is the work performed a key aspect of the business, okay? Is curbside leaf removal a key aspect of the business? Not really, no. What he did is not a key aspect of the business, okay? What the person does at McDonald's, because that relationship is expected to continue and they're expected to show up every day, the work that they're performing is a key aspect of the business, because without the person who's doing what they're doing, there's nobody else to do it. If I subcontract that guy and he doesn't do it, we are still doing it. My business is still doing it. If McDonald's doesn't have that employee, then the work's not going to get done, right? That was a bad explanation. It really was. So in the aspect of will the relationship continue, for instance, this past leaf season, I didn't subcontract that company for any of the leaf removals. Okay, we hauled them all away ourselves. So, damn, my computer just went dark. So that relationship, you know, didn't really continue. Okay, is it expected to continue? I think is it 100% for sure that it's going to continue? Okay, like when you're doing what I did with the curbside leaf removal, it's not necessarily expected to continue. There's a lot of things that can change in which our relationship is not indefinite. If you have an employee, sorry, that's what we're determining. If you have a person who you're paying to do a job and you're expecting that person to show up every day outside of the contrary, right? Then that pushes them under the employee category because that relationship is expected to continue. Does that make sense? I hope. And then again, is the work performed a key aspect of the business? The guy like I said, these two have to go hand in hand. It's not an or, it's an and here. It's will the relationship continue, and is the work performed a key aspect of your business? Okay. So with the employee, you're expecting them to show up every single day unless unordinary circumstances prevent themselves, right? So you're expecting their relationship to continue. And is the work performed a key aspect of your business? Yes, because if that employee wasn't there, it wouldn't get done. When I subcontracted the company to come pick up the leaves, was that relationship expected to continue? No, not necessarily. I needed that one curbside done, and there is no guarantee for me to do that again. None whatsoever. Okay? And is the work performed a key aspect of the business? No, it's not. It's not. If that person says no, we're going to do it. My business is going to do it. So that pretty much wraps up the 3 common law rules that deal with determining who you pay for services is an employee in your business and who's an independent contractor. And then what's really important is right here. Businesses must weigh all these factors when determining whether a worker is an employee or independent contractor. Some factors may indicate that the worker is an employee, while other factors indicate that the worker is an independent contractor. There is no magic or set number of factors that makes the worker an employee or an independent contractor, and no one factor stands alone in making this determination. Also, factors which are relevant in one situation may not be relevant in another. So basically what they just told you is that this is a very gray area, okay? This is a very gray area. So the way that I look at it, out of the three, I'm gonna see what's the majority weight. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do, because it says, you know, also factors which are relevant in one situation are not relevant in another. There's no magic you know, check marks that you have to meet to classify somebody as an employee or not. It's a very gray area. It's not black and white. It's not a yes, no. It's a maybe. I mean, and it sucks because this is really important determination, because like I said, you can get hurt pretty bad if you misclassify who's supposed to be an employee as an independent contractor because of payroll taxes. So what I would do, and what I do, is I take a look at all three of those things that we just went over, okay? And I say, basically, make two columns. Have one as an employee, one as independent contractor. And tally, every single time you're reading through those, and you're asking yourself the question, do I have control, or have the right to control what the person I'm paying does and how they do their job? Yes? Go put a check mark over employee. No? Put a check mark over an independent contractor. And each time you ask yourself those questions, as you're going through those three things, those three common law rules that we just went over, tally it, each one, boom, 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 boom. When you're done answering all those questions, which one outweighs the other? Also, take a look and see if any one of those questions holds a ton more weight than the other, okay? Like, for instance, okay, you know, the type of relationship one, how that was, you know, I said that was a bad explanation, blah, blah, blah. That one gets a little sticky, as you could tell. So, you know, when answering, will the relationship continue, and is the work performed a key aspect of the business? Debatably, you could say that hauling the leaves away, I expected that relationship to continue, and that is a key aspect of the business, because it's a core part of the services that we're providing. So you could debatably say that the question of that should push under the employee category, but in that situation that I brought up between me and the person that I was paying to haul the leaves away, I'm going to put a lot more weight on the things like behavioral circumstance. Do I have the right to control how they're doing their job? No, that's going to hold a lot more weight than if I expect that relationship to continue. So you can kind of see how it gets sticky. That's the way that I do it. I feel like that would hold up because, like I said, everything is situational. You know, it is what it is. I'm trying to protect you. You need to know this stuff if you're going to pay people in your business. If you're going to have a business, eventually you get to a point where you can't do it all yourselves. I don't care how much of a Superman you think you are. But no, seriously, guys, I hope that helps. Later, we're going to talk about how to get employees in your business. So let's say you go through all this stuff and you actually have to hire an employee now. The person you're paying is an employee. Well, now I'm subject to a lot of these payroll taxes. There's a ton of requirements. There's, you know, labor laws and stuff like that. Whereas if I'm paying an independent contractor, they send me an invoice for $1 amount. I write the check for $1 amount, and that's that.